What do pirate flags and modern corporate branding have in common? Turns out it's more than you might think. How did these seafaring outlaws use symbols and fear to build their notorious reputations? And what can we learn from their cunning strategies? How did brands built on fear attract new followers? Let's dive into a tale of fear, recognition, and the high seas. The golden age of piracy, spanning the late 17th to early 18th centuries, was an era that witnessed the rise of some of the most notorious marketers in history. It was a time when the Caribbean Sea and the Indian Ocean became the stages for dramatic tales of rebellion, adventure, and unimaginable treasures. But piracy was more than just looting. It was an intricate system of governance and distribution that mirrored a form of democracy and fairness, where even the distribution of loot followed a strict code. This system ensured equitable shares and even provided compensation for injuries, showcasing a level of organization and community spirit that is rare even in current times. Renowned pirates like Henry Every and John Taylor became legends, not just for their audacious raids, but also for their immense economic impact. Every's capture of the Ganage Isawai alone netted a fortune that would be worth over 95 million today. Meanwhile, Taylor's conquest of the Portuguese treasure ship Nostra Senhora de Cabo amassed riches equivalent to over $250 million in contemporary terms. Bartholomew Roberts, Black Bart, was one of the most successful pirates, capturing over 470 ships in 3 years. That's a new ship every other day. Blackbeard's reputation alone was often enough to make targets surrender without a fight. Pirates were not only looters, they created respected organizations on the global market with huge economic impact. How did these legendary figures manage to create their fearsome reputations? Let's explore the key elements they employed to etch their names into history. What is the secret to a centuries-lasting marketing strategy? Flags and symbols. Each flag was a form of psychological warfare, designed to intimidate and make a statement even before a single shot was fired. If a pirate ship raised a black flag, it often meant they were willing to provide a quarter, take prisoners, if the victim ship surrendered without resistance. A red flag, sometimes referred to as the no-quarter flag, signaled that no mercy would be shown. The sight of a red flag often led ships to surrender immediately, knowing resistance could lead to a brutal end. The Jolly Roger is not just an iconic symbol. The term Jolly Roger itself is shrouded in mystery, with theories suggesting it might have evolved from the French Jolly Rouge, pretty red, referencing the original red flags signifying no mercy, or from the English term Old Roger, the devil. The flag's design and its variations were a form of silent communication, conveying messages about the pirate crew's intent and the captain's reputation. One of the earliest mentions of the Jolly Roger comes from 1700, describing a flag used by pirate Emmanuel Wynne, featuring a skull, crossbones, and an hourglass. This design was a clear message that time was running out for those who saw it. This kind of unique customization was common among pirates, each adding personal touches to their flags to stand out and convey specific messages. Blackbeard's flag depicted a horned skeleton toasting the devil while stepping on a human heart. Calico Jack's emblem, featuring crossed cutlasses under a skull, emphasized readiness for combat. Your logo is the flag of your ship. It's not just a graphic, it communicates the brand's message and values. It should stimulate action and perception. A well-crafted logo triggers recognition, influences decisions, and fosters loyalty. It's about creating a feeling, a connection that goes beyond the visual, influencing how consumers feel about the brand, basing the visual identity on neuroscience, color psychology, and cultural and historical symbolism. Ships, names and designs. The naming of a pirate ship was as strategic as it was symbolic. Take Queen Anne's Revenge, the flagship of Blackbeard. This name alone conjured images of royal authority and defiance. Similarly, the Whydah, named after the West African kingdom of Awida, echoed exoticness and might. But it wasn't just the names that carried weight. The very design of these ships was a testament to the pirates' cunning and resourcefulness. Pirates often modified captured vessels to make them faster and more formidable. Sleek hulls, broadened decks, and increased firepower. These modifications turned ordinary merchant ships into floating fortresses, capable of both swift attacks and hasty retreats. Visual modifications also played a key role. From figureheads to the colors of the sails, every element was chosen to create an aura of dread. Some pirates even painted their ships black, turning them into ghostly specters on the high seas. These ships weren't just modes of transportation. They were moving billboards of terror and power. Just like the pirate ships, modern products have to be designed to stand out in a crowded market and provide a competitive advantage, while retaining or even enhancing functionality through design. It's not only how your ship looks, it has to sail, and it has to sail faster than your enemy. Pirate attire, tactics, and behavior. Pirates, feared for their brutality, were also admired for their defiance of authority and the freedom they represented. This dual image played a crucial role in their branding. Many joined pirate crews seeking escape from the harsh conditions of naval or merchant service. Pirates offered a sense of brotherhood and democracy rarely found elsewhere at sea. They operated under codes that promised fair distribution of loot and even compensation for injuries. This equitable treatment was a powerful draw, making piracy appealing despite its dangers. Pirates' clothing, while practical at sea, was often flamboyant when in port. This sartorial choice served two purposes. It projected an image of success and wealth, and it helped build a fearsome reputation. In essence, pirate attire, tactics, and behavior were not just about practicality. They were key branding tools that conveyed messages of fear, respect, and an unorthodox sense of order. Today's brands can learn from pirates' ability to create a complex, multifaceted image. Just as pirates balanced fear with allure, modern brands often balance sophistication with accessibility, exclusivity with widespread appeal, or tradition with innovation. Your brand has to speak not only to your consumers, but to the people you want on your team. A ship without a proper crew is an empty boat.
There once was a ship that put to sea, and the name of the ship was the Bully-O-Tea. The winds blew hard, her bow dipped down, oh blow me, Billy boys blow.
Nicknames, tales, and songs. Edward Teach's fearsome appearance and use of black beards contributed to his nickname. These nicknames were not always self-proclaimed. Often they were given by others and became part of the pirate's branding and legend. As Jeff Bezos said, "Branding is what others say about you when you're not in the room." In the world of piracy, nicknames and tales emerged not just from personal flair, but from actions, appearances, and perceptions. Songs like 15 Men on a Dead Man's Chest, a creation of author Robert Louis Stevenson, became synonymous with pirate lore, illustrating how stories and songs can evolve and enhance a brand. This tradition of storytelling mirrors how modern branding should work. Compelling narratives create memorable identities and foster a sense of community among consumers. Those narratives should be inherited by your consumers, and the story should spread naturally. A tale that's only told by the captain's parrot can only go so far. As we've sailed through the branding tactics of the Golden Age pirates, we've uncovered how their use of flags, ships, attire, and even their infamous nicknames crafted a legacy that still resonates today. Pirates were masters of creating a brand that was both feared and revered. They understood the power of perception and storytelling to create a lasting impact. If pirates could craft such enduring legacies without the tools we have today, imagine, what could you achieve with the right strategy and a touch of daring?